I started raving and going out to parties when I was 16 years old. I used to enter clubs illegally with a fake ID.
When I was 15 years old. Can I say that? It's illegal in our country. I grew mustaches from early days, so I look like 18 at least. I see younger people who trying to sneak into a club, and I remember myself because we were fucking bagging. I can't say fucking, right? Just cut it off. I just remember myself bagging on the doors for a bouncer or for a doorman that come on, let us in, we're really nice guys, and even though we are younger, we're not gonna do any trouble. Yeah, and one day we walked through, and I thought it's gonna be nice, but it was even better. So here I am, still raving for 20 years. So.
I was like 16, I think. So it was in 2000s maybe. It wasn't like raving. I mean, it was at the time house music was really popular, and this jazzy house, organic house thing. Like I think the first album I got, the first CD I bought ever, like in my life, was a CD by Groove Armada. There's like now it's like a pop band, but I think they released the album in 1999. And I remember the album was called Vertigo, and it was like trip hop album, and it's kind of changed my life. I think I really liked this album. Then I think I got deeper and deeper and deeper, and because at first what you do when you're 16 or 14, you listen to some like really shitty kind of club music that you think is dance music, but if you find the right people and you meet the right people to show you, so then you can be saved in the end.
In electronic music parties, I've been starting about 3 years ago, but at the moment my taste of the music is kind of different. I'm starting with new disco, dark disco styles, and at the moment I prefer techno, industrial techno music, not a hard techno, but EBM or something like this.
I think a couple of years back, when I was 17, going to a couple of raves at the time, but not too much, and I'm getting more and more into it by this year, I guess.
Right, so my name is Žilvinas. I'm from Klaipėda, I guess, from Klaipėda and Kaunas, let's say, and I'm 35, almost 35 years old.
My name is Pakas, and I'm from Lithuania, Kaunas, and I'm 33 years old.
My name is Jonas, and I'm from Vilnius, and I'm living in Kaunas for about a year, and I'm 26 years old, and I'm a bartender from Lizdas.
I'm Matas Rusilas, and I'm from Kaunas, Lithuania, and I'm 19 years old.
Hey, my name is Abdallah Shaheen. I'm from Lebanon. I'm also known as Sheh. I'm 27 years old. So making music for me is mostly about how I feel at the moment. I don't follow any rules. I rarely even have presets. And it's just a reflection of how I feel, I guess.
First maybe I'm DJing, and I'm not like producing music, but I'm like DJing and promoting parties, which is you also kind of you create music, but you not only music, but you create culture when you are a promoter, and this is a really kind of it's a fantastic feeling when you make a party and everyone's having fun at the party, and you see that there's like people there for the music and for the kind of this crazy social feeling that you have in a party. I mean, it's hard to describe in words, but these magical moments in the morning where if you DJ, you kind of give the energy to the people, and they give the energy back to you, and now you share this sort of a like magical thing in between each other. And this is if you felt that once, so you're gonna be in love with that for a long time, or maybe for the rest of your life. And probably that's what keeps me going, keeps me running.
What inspires me? So, of course, people and reaction, and this feeling of in and out, like people giving energy as much as you give them first. So this unstoppable energy flow charge not only me, but I guess every person who works as a performer.
I'm starting to create my own music. I'm going to study from the next year in London music production, so definitely gonna create more and more music. I think one of the basic things and the most common is that electronic music is getting more popular in Lithuania, but there are still a couple of I don't know, original tracks lacking, or maybe something more innovative in Kaunas, because people are not finding something new. It's getting more and more I don't know, common, and I would like to bring something new, something more innovative with electronic music in Kaunas.
I'm just a starter. I'm a beginner at DJing, so I hope I will play after about a year. So at the moment, I'm buying my vinyls, my own vinyls, and I'm starting to play. So just give me one more year.
We didn't try to create a club like straight away. At first, we were like looking for a venue to do an exhibition and do a party, do a rave. And we went to this gallery that Lizdas is now in, and we just, like the guys, they offered us, like the gallery people, they offered, hey, maybe you want to rent it, and for like longer period, like for 5 years. And we said, yeah, well, okay. So then this idea of Lizdas came, and it was like so unexpected. We were not like sitting together with the Žilvinas, and we were not like making plans. Hey, how are we gonna do this? It just appeared, and it just happened. And I think what is harder is not to open a club, but to create the community around the club.
Well, at first we thought it's gonna be hard. Later on, we thought it's gonna be easy. We're not gonna do anything about it, and later we done it, and it was super hard. So yeah. So finally, it is hard. Difficulties. We never done anything like that before, so of course it was new for us, and yes, we had many problems. We done a lot of mistakes what we couldn't do if we done something similar earlier before that.
I mean, as people in Lithuania, they do not really, the authorities, they do not really know about a lot about this culture, about dance music, and so we asked for, let's say in England you have this sort of thing where you cannot get the license for selling alcohol for the whole day, and we just over here you just apply like we want a 24-hour license, and we said, yeah, okay, we give it to you. So more or less we can work like 24/7, and if we open on Friday, so we can close on Sunday, but people do not party that hard here, so anyways we had to close. But I think the difficulty was with myself and with keeping the kind of the enthusiasm to open it, because it took a really long time, because we didn't have the money at the time, and so it kind of happened step by step. So we were like doing the electricity, and we were doing the pipes in the club, and when we buying the sound system, and then suddenly we are out of money and we don't have the funds, so we have to find someone, like say, yeah, just convince the guys, you gotta give us some money to, and we are doing a club. But what kind of club? Is techno club or house club? Wow, okay, so what is that? So maybe that was the harder part, to find the funds for the club. But everything else was pretty well and really good.
Well, my parents said I'm stupid. Yeah, but they said just go on. And my friends, well, basically, we done it with our friends. So one of our friend who's a DJ as well, he's like in everyday life, he's electrician. So he made all electric installation. He used to play electro, so that's kind of like normal, for him. So yeah, so he made electricity. Some other guys who are friend of us, they made furniture, and like we break walls and painted by our own hands and our friends. So yeah, so they did help us a lot creating the club.
Well, yeah. Okay, it's like a bit shameful now, but I had to borrow some money from my grandma, like, but I give it back to her, so all cleared, and yeah, well, that's what they helped. But I mean, I was raised as a pretty liberal family, and my mother, she didn't like tell me what to do in my life. Let's say, well, she wanted me to be like a lawyer or something. But when she sees that you are fine with doing things what you do, and she sees that you are happy with what you do, so I think she's like really okay. I mean, she's never been to a party, like, well, she's been to the club, like, parents like still care about, but I think as long as parents see that I'm doing good, so they're happy with what I do. We were opening a club, and we just had the idea, and we didn't have, there was no people that, well, now I realize that there was no people that would actually be interested in going to a club and to dancing all night and 2 days a week. I mean, and when we opened, so we had a lineup for the first weekend, but we didn't have a lineup for the second weekend. So, and usually, it's the club opens, then there's like a community. There's like you feel that there's a need for the club, but there was no need. Like, I think it's me and Silvinas that we needed the club, not the people in this town, and yeah, it took a while to create some kind of followers that would be like almost. I see some people that go there almost every Friday and Saturday, and they stay there, and I don't know how they last. Probably the health is like really super good and stamina is high, but yeah, it's amazing. I mean, there was like every year there's like more people coming, and it's like been 3 years that we're open, and I really hope that there's gonna be some more people next year. So I don't know.
In like a particular translation, it is a nest in English, but we understand it as a place where it's nice to come back, a place where gathers the same-minded people for something common.
My experience with the audience of Lizdas is very short. I've been here for almost 3 years. Like any venue, basically, there's a constant change of who comes to party. There's always people who get in this phase of partying and leave it, but there's always regulars who always come, and they grow up, and they grow up with the venue. As Lizdas, I see that the demographic of the people who come there are mostly between the ages of 18 to 25, and the rest is somewhere between 25 and 30, 35 maximum. And anyone above that, older than that, who comes to the club, it deserves a lot of respect because they know what's happening. Compact, alive, and strong.
It's about underground atmosphere and music. People in Kodelne and Lizdas are usually the same because before Lizdas they come to Kodelne to make a bit of pre-party, to warm up before Lizdas. But I think both of these places are really nice. Kodelne is just opened last year and they're getting better and better. With also with the music, with an atmosphere, more people are getting into it. And with Lizdas, I think maybe right now, maybe too many people know about the place. And as techno music and electronic music is getting more popular, sometimes it becomes a bit of a fashion thing. And people who never listened to electronic music or never been to an underground club want to get into Lizdas. And once they do that, they usually don't really like the place, so it mixes up a bit of different people, and it was a bit better a year ago when only the right people knew about the place who really were into underground music and loved electronic music. Yep. So now it's a bit of, I'd say it was a bit better according to the people, but it's still good.
I think it could be described in it's a big family. I don't know how to explain. I'm happy just because I'm a part of the Lizdas family, and it's the best place in Kaunas where I can be at the moment. So I think I cannot find a better place.
I like the word family, like, you know, we try to keep it like a family, a community, and all the people that work at Lizdas, and I hope they feel this, that they are not like people that I hire for the work. I hope that they feel that it's you know, it's like different. I mean, you work all night. I mean, you kind of relate to each other more. And especially with I do more work with technical things and with the program. Well, the program is not really me, but I'm like an advisor. It's like, hey, do you think this guy would be like good to say? No, I'm not booking him. So I think Lizdas family is something special here, and I really like when some guys that is Mario Moretti, probably more known in the worldwide scene. He just moved to Kaunas and he kind of joined the family. I kind of like it.
Lizdas in Kaunas is the only remarkable venue that's doing underground parties in the meaning of underground music that's not mainstream. They don't cater to what the people want. They actually follow an agenda and a specific music direction. And it's a place where culture is being created. It's a place where new people are meeting each other. It's a place where people learn more about obscure and fresh styles of music. Raves in Lebanon, mostly the word rave now, if you were going to think about the word rave is associated with outdoor or indoor large parties and festivals and warehouses. The scene in Lebanon and Lithuania does have raves as a term, but it's not very common. In both countries, raves are like either happening in festivals or like every once and then. What is big in Beirut, for example, is clubs, and really big clubs with really big artists who are coming on a regular basis. Like every Friday, you'd have 3 or 4 international acts in 4 or 5 different venues besides the local venues that are doing stuff and the local artists. Lithuania is more limited in terms of capabilities on booking artists and size of events. The way it works here is the population of the country is not comparable to that of Lebanon. Lebanon is very much more populated.
I've been traveling in Australia for 4 months, about 4 months, and I think Lithuania has a lot of catching up to do, because well, our country is still small. It's only about 3 million people, and yeah, we had just a couple of rave parties in Kaunas happening, a bit more in Vilnius, but I think there's a lot of we could do more and do better. But during the summertime, I think we can show good parties, a couple of good parties, especially if you know where to find them. In Australia, it's more of a cultural thing, and it kind of mixes the nature and the parties into one thing. They love doing bush parties, just bringing stereo systems into wild nature and doing wild parties as well in there. And in Lithuania, it's a bit harder to do that because, well, it's harder to get licenses, harder to get private parties going on, but I think it's really possible, and we could do something similar to Australia as well. I've been listening a lot to Gardens of God right now. Really nice and interesting tracks. And they're getting really better and better with years. Also recently, last Friday, I listened to this DJ Mantas T. Always loves to play with the vinyls, and really like I like his sets as well. And from around the world, I would say one of my favorite groups was Dark Side, Nicholas Jar and Dave Harrington. A really nice group, and it's a pity that they broke up, but really love to listen to their tracks as well.
It's a Mantas T, Pakas, and also at Vilka Inču, where my first favorite DJ when I start partying. So I have sentiments for them. So I hope we are enjoying techno more than disco music, but at the moment Kaunas prefer a little bit lighter music than the techno.
To be realistic, Lizdas is, I guess, only electronic music club, as I understand the concept of a club in Kaunas.
I play techno and house with a minimalistic approach. Under another alias, Seamus Dab, I'm playing jazz, funk, soul, experimental. And there's another alias, Sache and Sache, with a friend, Salah, from Canada, that's doing a little bit of deep house with a minimalistic touch.
It's kind of small scene, so we don't have many outstanding names, but to name a few, there is of course 12-inch Underground, Manfredas, Mantas T, my beloved and big-hated friend Pakas.
Will grow up really in a variety of things. So I think both Kaunas is developing real quickly right now. We get new clubs opening almost every year or even half a year. So we recently just visited this second club of Anamesha. It's a bit of different style, but it's also a nightlife, and you can definitely find and hear some good music in there as well. Of course, it's a different atmosphere and different people, but I think Lithuania is going the right way, and the music rated here is really sometimes really impressive, and you can even compare to the other big cities like even I don't know, Berlin or yeah, the DJs. I mean, there are a couple of DJs that are really good and who are playing also in London and other big cities. So it's totally improving.
I see it growing in a good direction, because there's a common understanding of music between people. For example, the youth right now, they can easily differentiate between, most of the youth can easily differentiate between house and techno and different styles of music, which means there's a certain level of awareness that they are learning from their exposure to music. As a result, the scene is growing, yet it's stuck in a certain place because the population of Lithuania is not growing. There's a big number of people who are leaving the country to work in other places. And there's not many tourists who come here, not many immigrants who come to stay here. It's a very small minority of the population. So for the scene to grow properly, I think the best thing to do is for local promoters and venues to work together with local scenes from Poland, from Latvia, from Belarus, from these places where you can attract these people to come and party here as well.
Fucking great club, I'd say.